Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Virginia Killmore, and welcome to my studio. You just got a sneak peek of a new stamp set called Butterfly Brilliance that I'm going to be sharing with you this week. This stamp set is now available, and I can't wait to show you all the wonderful things it does, so let's get started. So this is the card that we are going to be making. I'll zoom in so you can see a little better. These are just samples of what you can make using the paper that I'm going to share with you today. Butterfly Brilliance is really beautiful. I'll show you a little sneak peek of some of the things that come with it. There's different papers. The stamp set is really gorgeous, and it features a whole cutout of the stamps that is really neat. Let me just show you because I think that's the easiest way. So this is the Butterfly Brilliance stamp set, and it features a stamp set that you can't see because I have it on my Stamparatus, but look at the cutters. This is one cutter that will take a whole sheet of our paper and cut out all of it at once. Isn't that cool? So we'll be doing that today. And then the stamp set is all continuous. It's one large set. And it is, I'll show you because I have it right here. You see how it is a big set. But you can also cut off sections of it to stamp if you want to stamp them separately. For instance, I cut off this one. I like that size, and you could actually cut it all up and then still stamp with it. I thought it was pretty neat. I might even buy a second stamp set just so that I can have them all separated. So to start off with today, we're going to start with designer series paper from Sand and Sea. This is not from the designer series paper that that you could get with it. I'll show you the designer series paper. It has beautiful, like, moire, different colors of papers in it, and then it coordinates with all of these colors right here, which is quite a few. And we're going to start out with a large piece and get that cut, because we need to cut a butterfly for the front of our card. Now, I took Sand and Sea cards, DSP, just to show you what you can do if you just want to buy the stamp set, and I'll show you the Sand and Sea paper. You have seen it before. I think we made several cards with it last week, and I like it because it has a watercolory look to it. So I think this is the paper. No, actually it's that one that we're using, and I like it because this paper has transitioned from pink to yellow to blue. It's really beautiful, and it's super easy to stamp on because you can't really go wrong. But let's cut out our butterfly first, and then I'll show you the collage technique that we're going to be using. So to cut it out, I am going to need my large Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, so bear with me while I get that out. It's hard for you to see it all because my space is so small. And when you use the large Stamp and Emboss machine, it's super easy because it shows you with pictures what you need to cut. Like, this is for die cutting, so I need pieces 1, 2, and 2 of number 3. I'm going to lay down my number 3 die, and just a little tip that you want your butterflies to cut perfectly. And sometimes it's so easy for it to move once you get it in place. So I am going to take a piece of washi tape just to keep it in place for me. It's not necessary, but it is nice to be able to get it exactly where you want it. So I'm just going to anchor it like that. So that it doesn't move on me. while it goes through. Now, if I had the magnetic plate, I wouldn't need that, but I haven't gotten that yet. I guess you can't get it right now. There were some issues with it. So I'm just going to run that through. And now I have a whole crop of butterflies to choose from. Look at all the butterflies I can choose from. Any one of these I can use. And what's really neat is if I want to use the back side of them, I can take a coordinating paper and use one of these cutouts that matches up perfectly with it to line up with it. So if I got a cutout for that, it would be go right on top of there and that color would show through. I think this set's just beautiful. I love it. So lots of versatility, and we'll save all our butterflies over there so that we can decide what we want later. But for now, let's get started with making our card. So I do have a flyer on the Butterfly Brilliance set. If you would like a copy of it, I can send that to you via email. It tells you all about it and what comes with it and what you'll need. So it's just really helpful. I'm just going to place that there while we stamp. So what we're stamping with is a stamp set called Very Versailles. I use the stamp a ton. I love this and the writing. And I am going to just stamp on this straight with ink. If I think it's too bright, I may stamp off when I get into the writing. But I'm really just looking for a little bit of sort of a collage-y effect. And I think I will stamp off a little bit with this one. I think the hardest thing with the writing on this one is seeing which is the right way up. Yeah, I like that much better. It's softer. Okay, and my stamping's done, except for my sentiment. So I'm going to leave my ink pad out. I do need a piece of that, so I'm going to go ahead and punch both of them out because I want that from the middle. I don't want to have it down at the bottom too much and then have myself not be able to use that. Remember that little trick that I taught you? So I'm going to go ahead and glue both of these on. Actually, I'm just going to glue this one because we still have to put ribbon around that piece. So let's just put our piece on. And I like to use my bone folder to make sure it's squished out everywhere. It moved a little bit. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and put my sentiment on here, and then I can close my stamp pad for the day. There we go. No more need for that. You could, if you wanted to, take some of our blender brushes and do some blending. Let's just do a little bit so you can see. I've been using my blender brushes quite a bit lately, just to give it a little softness in some spots, or, you know, a connection to that color. Because right in here I got really dark with that. I like that. It sort of breaks up everything. I have my new little clips that I designed, and if you order your blender brushes through me, you get those for free. I try to keep track of it. If for some reason you ordered one and haven't received them yet, let me know, because I do try to get them out as soon as I see that you placed an order. So the next thing is our bow, and I always like to have, I think this is the end of my ribbon, so I like to use this method that I've taught you guys many times, which is just to go around and make a little square knot. And the metallic ribbon is a little tricky to do. I've watched people really struggle with it because it frays. So you want to give it some space when you first pull through, but then when you go to finish it off, pull from the bottom. See how I'm pulling from there? That will make that bigger, the whole knot, not the whole piece bigger. And then I can go ahead and cut it. And I need a pair of good fabric scissors, so I'm going to switch my scissors out. See if these are any better. Yep, they're a lot better. Okay, and now I want it slightly off, so I'm not going to cut it down the middle. I'm going to cut it on the side. And now I have everything I need to put my card together. I just have to decide what else I want. Now, I did not do this on all my cards, but I'm going to show you this because a lot of people have been asking me this. Do you see that gold trail that's on there? My first card doesn't have that, but I found that I really like that. This is the same paper that I've been using. It's just a different value. There's some different patterning, but this definitely is the paper we used. So that gold trail is so easy to do with our new gold flocking. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And it does say to use heat and stick powder, but I have found that you get just as good a coverage with just some glue. It works just as easily. Now the gold flocking comes in a jar like this. It's called gold leafing, and you pour it into a bucket. And it's easiest if you leave it in that bucket permanently because it goes everywhere, and a little bit goes a long way. Look at how little there is in there. I poured about a third of the jar in there a month and a half ago, and I have used and used it and never had to refill. I'm just going to pull some of it up in here because I'm just going to lay my card right down into this gold flocking or leafing. I leave that toothbrush in there, and the process for getting it ready is to not squeeze hard, but to squeeze ever so slightly so I can start to see a stream of glue. Okay, and then once I do, I'm not going to worry about how perfect or how well I do. I'm just sort of creating some lines in there because I want the gold flocking or the gold leafing to stick, and I'm just rubbing it back and forth. That makes the video really enjoy that. Now I have some coverage, and I'm going to really scrub hard with my toothbrush because I don't want it all to stick. I want it just in some spots. But you see how that's pulling off all the excess. And that's pretty much it. You can do very detailed pinpoint spots. I could have just done dots. I could have put some glue on a rubber stamp. And that's why they have the heat and stick, because you can actually stamp with that. You use Versamark and then put the heat and stick powder. And that's it. That's my gold flocking or gold leafing. I just take this bucket and put it away now. So that's my little fun little extra today. And now I'm ready to put the card together. So I'm going to put this, just decide where I want it. I think that's a good spot. Now you'll notice that all of those other cards that I did have the bow in different spots, and a lot of times it's just a spot that I want something covered up that I don't particularly love. This time I sort of like lots of parts of the card, so I'm not having trouble with any part in particular. And now I'm going to use glue on the back side of this. I love my green glue. And I am ready to put my sentiment and pick a butterfly. So this is the part that is the hardest, is picking the butterfly, what one will work the best. Now, a little tip I'll tell you is if you're going to put this across here, you may want to put the dimensionals here and here so that goes over, but I think I'm going to put my sentiment down here, so I don't really care. I'm going to go ahead and pull those off. And now I have to decide on my butterfly, and I'm thinking a small butterfly might be plenty. Let's see which one we like the best. Oh, I love this one too. I can do two if I want. I kind of like those two. Maybe this one will fly in the opposite direction. Yep, I think I'm happy now. So what I'm going to do with this one is just put a dimensional on it. And I'll put two. And then just try to find the spot that I think it looks best. And that's pretty much it for this card. I think it's a super simple card, but butterflies, oh, they're a harbinger of spring and all the stuff that we're dreaming of right now, we're waiting for. And I love the fact that I was able to just cut those out of my paper. They all cut out, all, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 butterflies got cut out of one sheet of paper. Pretty cool, huh? So there you have it, today's card. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you will touch base. Now tomorrow is coffee and cards, and we're actually doing something 3D tomorrow, so it's kind of different. You're going to need some Model Magic, which is a clay, and if you don't have it, you don't have to get it. You can just watch it and then maybe catch it on another day. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10:30. Talk to you later.